Pasha Paro, Y7. Thank you for tuning. The replay. So, y'all know I be trying crazy ass things, right? Y'all know I be trying crazy things. But they work. They work. So maybe they're not crazy after all. All right, so we're not, I'm talking about two stocks today. Well, I'm not really talking about the stocks. Today, I'm talking about the strategy. Because you guys been growing with me, and as I grow, like I said, you guys are growing with me. So here's a continuation of what we talked about yesterday. Okay. So we're going to reference the stocks SENS, SENS, and TRXC. But it's more so about this is proof of concept for the strategy. The first time I did anything like this on this purposeful from the very start. And it has some good potential, I must say. And I want to share this with you because don't worry about the numbers when we're talking about this, because you can scale it up or down based on wherever you're at. Okay, so don't get sticker shocked. If I'm here and you're here and what you're able to do, don't get sticker shocked. And if I'm here and you're here, I don't care if you laugh at me, but you might learn something from the concept. Okay? All right, cool. So I titled this one something like turn 4,500 shares into $22,500 for free. It's the craziest thing ever. This is by far the craziest, biggest deal I've done to date. Okay. Let's get into it. I kind of gave you the brief yesterday when I was like, my goal is to get it to the point where it doubles, or my new trial, so to speak. This is my trial. Some people may have already done this 100 times. Give me some comments in below if you have tried this or not, and what your success was. It starts with the research to know. I think for the execution I'm looking for, to know what stock to catch at the right time at the lowest entry point. That's where it starts at. Now, once you get that right, all right, it's a lot of stuff we done learned over the since October that's all coming together in this execution here. So we're gonna spend a couple minutes talking about the strategy, and that's really what we're gonna do today. Because the stocks, they're both like, even though they went up, it's one of them days where they went up, but they wound up being down slightly by the end of the day. One's down minus 18 cents, one down minus 2 cents from yesterday, even though they might have both almost been up like 70 cents, $1 more at some point during the day a share. I think that's good. Pullback is needed. Get some of the shorters out, get some of the people taking profits, good for them. Long term, we talked about this. If you missed it and then you're just catching this video for the first time, there's a video yesterday where we went over these as an aftermath to the videos that I put out on the weekend. So go back and watch the videos from Saturday and Sunday, then watch the video from yesterday after you subscribe and hit the notification bell, and then today's video will make complete sense to you. All right, so let's get into it. Thank you for tuning in the replay. Big board pep for my peeps. All right. So here's how it went down. Now, I like learning. So you heard me talking about the post market, after hours, pre market, chaos when I'm trying to set things up. So I learned about it. All right. And I learned that it comes in handy sometimes. Okay. Like today. So here's the P.E.P. Here's SENS. All right. I got some lines going on there doing some crazy things. You know me. So the P.E.P. closed at $2.67 today, which was actually down 18 cents a share. However, I sold half my shares in the pre-market at $3.36. And I know, you're going to say, Pasha, it spiked up to almost $4. Well, that's fine, because I actually bought in at $1.49, 2,500 shares. So right there, that was a value $3,725 at the time. So selling 1,250 shares at 3 double decimal point, not just one, but double. Nah, it's a typo. But at $3.36 was a value of $4,200. So I was able to sell half my shares. I recouped all of my original money for all of the shares, plus made $457 on top of that. Because remember, we saw the 6,300 and change yesterday. This is what I'm looking at. Remember, my goal is $100 to $500 a day, right? So let's keep that being true. All right. So if that's true, then I can convert this mentally. Because, see, a lot of things are just perspective, right? Right? Okay. So if I change my perspective from saying, hey, look, I made 6,300 yesterday, and actually when I sold these shares today, because it was in a pre-market, it added it to like yesterday's total. So yeah, it really wound up being about 7,300, 7,200. It was almost like $1,000 more. It was 72 change. So it was almost like $1,000 more than where I was yesterday, just from selling these shares today. Then between Dare going up and whatever else, however else this balanced out, I was at 900 and something for the day. In addition to that, so almost another 1,000. So basically, I made another $2,000 between the close yesterday and close today. So value wise, but I'm gonna forget the numbers for a minute. Let's not look at the numbers, because I'm looking at something else, and that's called potential. Right. One thing that I was learning from prior plays, been talking to you guys about it, like indirectly, if you've been hearing things I've been saying, I would have caught that profit. I'd have got out. I'd have sold it all. And then when it went down, like at some point in time, by the time it started going down, I'd have had sold all of them, and I'd have been up. I don't know. The total value on this was at 336. The total value was 8,400, right? So I'd have been up, $4,700 roughly. And if I had caught that spike closer to 4, it would have been more. But here's the thing. When the stock goes down, it drops, it dips, it goes through a pullback. You want to get back in because you, or at least me, tell me how you feel in the comments below. You want to get back in because, and this is for entertainment purposes, I'm not professional, I'm not telling you how to play. I'm just going over my log book with you. These are my executions. I'm kind of talking to myself here with the camera, and you get the benefit of being a fly on the wall. So I appreciate your time and the interaction, all the people commenting and growing together. So that's what it is. We're building a community here that I hope we all learn from and can learn from each other and grow. So the way I started looking at this was because I would have sold them all. I'd have had a profit. But then I would have went to buy back in. So now where I was in at 150, here's the problem or the opportunity I kept running into. As the stock value goes up, that means the buy-in goes up, right? Okay. So let's say I bought this for $1. It goes up to whatever, $4. So you make $3 profit. If you got 100 shares, it's $300, right? Your original buy-in was, wait, let me do it again. So you got 100 shares. It goes up to 5 for $1. So it goes to 500. You make $400. Okay. So you sell, you take $400 profit. But then it drops down to $3. And you're like, okay, cool. I'm going to get 100 shares again. Well, now you're taking $300 to buy the same 100 shares that you had for $100. And yeah, you still make a profit, but I was looking at how to maximize profit while minimizing the risk. So what that did was, in my mind, even though you can buy back in for 300 and get the same 100 shares you got, now I got I've risked 3 times the amount. Technically, I know it's a Virgo thing. We're like trying to be perfectionists at everything, right? So now I have 3 times the amount invested for the same amount of shares. You see what I'm saying? So I was looking at ways to combat that, because as that grows and as I keep locking in profits and I get out, that buyback in reduces the amount that I want to actually buy back in at. So if I get 1,000 shares at $1, I don't want to buy 1,000 shares at $10. Because I just don't. So here's how I figured out how to get around that. It took a little bit of change in my perspective, and it takes a lot of research in the beginning to find the perfect entry points at the right time. So it's a lot of work, but it's really worth it. So I'm going to go over that with you. And then, like I said, this is proof of concept. I think this is the first. I may have done it. No. Well, yeah, no. This will be the first time I've done it in this fashion from the beginning with this purpose in mind. So tell me what you think. And if you like the concept, then start utilizing it for yourself. Feel free to do so. So, all right. I bought in at 149, 2,500 shares, 37.25 value. Selling them at 336 meant that I was already more than double. I had already more than doubled my money. So I brought back 4,200, which gave me $475 profit. Plus, I'm going to label them, right, as free shares. Because if I'm just looking at making a goal of 100 to 500 a day, right, then this play here, if I just take it from the money, from looking at the actual dollar amount, I made $475 in 24 hours. So I made all the money back plus $475. So I'm up $475 there. So that means that I can just look at that as the actual gain, monetarily wise, right? And then I'll say to myself, these 1,250 shares that are left over are free shares, because the proper execution of this paid for these shares and gave me an extra $475. So now I have to, cause you know what I'm sitting there like, I still got sell it. But I'm like, hold on, because now if I wipe away that and say that these are free shares, it really takes away. I mean, in the back of my mind, I gotta get it to work its way into the front, because I'm at peace with this decision, but it's different, and change is good. So we're just gonna have fun with this, right? And I know what I want to do. I'm doing it, but you know that moment where you're doing it for the first time, you're like, you got that little like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I got going on right now. But I'm executing, and this is gonna be the plan. And and you guys are gonna watch me sink or swim with this, and we gonna all learn today. All right, so here we go. So what I did is I'm gonna mentally convert the 1,250 shares into just simply free shares and take it as a profit of only $475 for the day. Because now, if I really embed it in my mind that those are free, I don't care if they go down 20 cent, 30 cent, a dollar right now today. Because I know this stock, and I know long term it's gonna be worth whatever. We just gotta bridge the gap between now and then. And what the risk was before was I felt like I needed to maximize profit because I was looking at profits. Okay, so now I satisfied my goal for the day of profit by simply saying, okay, I made $475. I made all my money back plus $475. I'm up $475. And I'm gonna convert the 1,250 shares to free shares in my mind. And now, in theory, I can hang on to these shares for 5 years if I wanted to, as long as I keep them on my mind that I got them for free. Right? So if they run up to, all right, we'll get to that in a moment. So that's proof of concept A, in what I call, we made a profit. So basically we got all these, we paid for the shares we had, and we made $475. So we lost no money. We got all our money back plus $475. So that wipes that out. That's free. And we got 1,250 shares free. Right? I'm gonna just put it like that in my mind. All right, let's look at exhibit B. Okay. So this is TRXC. So the P.E.P closed today at 347, and it was actually down 2 cents. Right? However, I sold a half of my shares at Prim Market, which should be pre-market. I was typing this up. I'm eating chicken fingers. All right, work with me. So in pre-market at $3.93. Okay? And I know you're going to say the same thing, but it spiked, Pasha. You would have normally tried to get that. Yeah. And if I missed it, you see where it wound up, right? So I made a decision to take what I know, which was kind of like the discipline. You mix in some of that part of the discipline with some of this part of the discipline. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't just eggs in an omelet. You know what I mean? All right. So mixing in all these different disciplines we went over and learned and acquired and perfected and worked on and crafted over since October. Okay. So I was like, you know what? This is a good spot. Looking a little rough here in the pre-market. Don't know what it's going to do is holding this line. All right. Take what we know now. Sold half of them at $3.93 because mathematically I knew that was already basically $2 a share for me, because I bought in at 186, 2,000 shares. Okay, so that was valued at $37.20 at the time. So when I sell 1,000 of them, I sold 1,000 of them at $3.93. Right, that would have been $3,930. So the same thing. I paid, by selling half of them, I paid for all the shares I had bought originally. So I got all my money back, plus $210 on top of that, which is like, not even counting what I made today. That would have been easily, I could have slid it over and said, okay, that was within my goal for the day. So I still had 2 days where I hit my goal, and then I got 1,000 free shares on this one, based off the same logic from before. Does that make sense? When I first started out, it sounded crazy to me. And I did a little exercise 4 or 5 times, the math problems, and I was like, I think it's gonna work. So I'm trying it, right? And this all took place in basically 24 hours. So by what's that? It's like 8 o'clock. The circles are at like 8 o'clock in the AM today. So by 8 o'clock in the AM today, I was done my execution. And so in 24 hours, basically got all my money back, made a little over $600 total, and got 2,250 shares. So let's look at that and how I'm getting this title from. So the total profit, if I look at it that way, for the 24-hour period was $685, and then 2,250 shares for free, with a current value of $6,912.50, right? Now, the potential value, if both of these stocks go to $10 a share, that would be $22,500, which is an additional $15,587.50. So, for free, because all this is now free. All I gotta do is wait. So tell me what you think about this strategy or this execution or this play. You know, it's Pasha exchange portfolio, big boy P.E.P. You know, if you hadn't thought about this and you like this idea, make sure you get this video a like, share it with your friends and family. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. This is what we doing. All right. So you pay for everything, you get all your money back, plus you get an extra $685. And if that's the case, then technically we're ready to turn nothing, absolutely nothing, into $22,500. Thank you for tuning. The replay.